Okay, our next topic is dealing with response data. In most scenarios, you will want to retrieve and process some response data from the server as part of your asynchronous call. To retrieve data from this response stream, once your request is completed, you can use these properties. First property is response text. The response data in here returns the response data as a string. Second property is response XML. In this property returns the response data as an XML document. For explain this, I will have to use one XML file and one JavaScript file and one HTML file. This is our HTML file, this is the JavaScript file, and this is an XML file. I will explain about first property. It is the response text property. This is the simplest of the method to utilize data from the response. All data that is part of the response is returned as single string. This property is useful for simple operation where only a singular piece of data is returned and manipulated or displayed by the page. I have a look at how to use this property in this code. You can enhance the existing sample to display data returned from the asynchronous call on this web page. This web page is simple HTML page with one button, and this is the JavaScript code. This is our JavaScript code. This code sets the value, the text property of the page's single div element to the response text of the returned data. Especially what is the happening in this example is the data file.xml file that is requested using a XML HTTP request object. When the page executes and the button is clicked, the web browser displays the result shown in here. After executing these three HTML, JavaScript and XML file, you will after clicking this button you will be able to see like this output. As you can see, the data contained within the XML file is returned in the page is exactly the same way it is stored within a file. Our next topic is using a response XML property. In a majority of scenarios, you will want to return multiple items. Sometimes this might be a list of names displayed in a drop-down list. The XML format is ideally signed to this, and direct support for this format is provided by the response XML property of the XML HTTP request object. Okay, I will show only the modified section that replace the head code from the previous example that use the response text property. This example is the only a modified example we used in above example. Inside of simplifying the entire set of data, you are extracting the text value of the first instance of the first name node. You do this utilizing the selection node method, which take an XPath expression as an argument and return as an XML node object if one is found or not, or null if the XPath query is unsuccessful. For this unfamiliar with XPath language, you can think of it as a dynamic query language for XML document that operates in a similar way to ANSI SQL for database. With the return node object, you assign the node value property of the first element of the child node property, which itself is a property of the div results element to the next value of the node.